Good morning. I'm here with my wife, Chris.
Hey.
Just cutting up some onions, shallots, and garlic. I have a pan of oil over here, getting nice and hot. Like I said, we can turn the heat down on that. We're just about ready to add in our onions. We have a pan that we previously used to do some bacon wrapped asparagus. We're going to repurpose this pan and do some bacon wrapped banana peppers. So we have our ground beef, we have our cream cheese softening, some shredded Romano, some Parmesan. I'm going to cut up a little bit of Swiss to add to this mixture. And it looks like the onions and garlic are just about ready for me to put in the pan. So pause this video and we'll get some more progress before we check back in. Welcome back to Cooking with the Browns. Let's check in and see where Chris is at. So she's currently halving and de-seeding our banana peppers. I went ahead and started a cheese mix here. We have some cream cheese, still softening with some Parmigiano Romano mixed in there, and we have some fresh mozzarella here, which we'll cube up and add into that mix, which ultimately is going to have the onions and the ground beef and the garlic and everything added to it, and it'll become our mixture for these peppers, which will then get bacon wrapped. Let's go take a look at our onions, which we're just starting to get a little bit of a translucent here. I kind of slowed down the cooking on them. I had the pan nice and hot. I could have had this done in a matter of seconds, but I wanted them to cook a little slower because we had a few other steps that we needed to take. So at this point, I'm just going to take our brown sugar and I'm just going to add about a teaspoonful, nothing crazy, maybe a tablespoon. And just get these caramelizing up for us. So we'll get the caramelization process started before we add our ground beef, and we'll check back in. And all right, through the magic of cinema, we now have caramelized onions ready to add our ground beef to brown that up. Chris is making progress on her banana boats here.
Slow progress.
Slow progress, but it's progress, right? We can maybe try to salvage some of those seeds and grow some peppers. Let's see. Yeah, there's only, we got a handful left, 4 left. I'll start browning the beef, and then we'll check back in and see where we're at. All right, we got our ground beef going here. It's not quite done, but it's at the perfect point where I'm going to add some seasoning. So I figured I would jump on and show you that. We're not going to add any onion powder, which I usually add to most things that I cook, but there's quite a bit of onion in this, so it's already going to have that good onion flavor. But we're going to add some garlic powder, which there is some garlic in there, but just put a little garlic powder in, and I'll kind of add to that. We have some basil, which in this particular dish, we're just going to sprinkle it on. I never measure when I'm cooking. Obviously, when I'm baking, I do, but when I'm cooking, it's just kind of eyeball it, taste it, add more if you need to. We're going to add some oregano in here. Just make sure we get some nice, good flavor. And then I'm just going to add a little splash here of Worcestershire to give us a little extra flavor there. A lot of times I would add a smoked paprika and some smoky, some liquid smoke, but I'm not going to do that today. We're just going to kind of keep it like this, and we will check back in now once this ground beef is completely done. Okay, while we were away, I finished browning the ground beef, gave it a little taste. It wasn't quite where it needed to be. Did have to add some Italian seasoning, and I added pretty much doubled the amount of Worcestershire that I originally put in. Now it's ready. It's delicious. I have the oven off. We're gonna put this into a bowl and into the refrigerator just to get it above room temperature. It's still going to be kind of warm, but I don't want to put it in, you know, super hot into our cheese mix that we have here, which Chris is in the middle of adding the mozzarella to. So we want it to, it'll still be nice and warm when it gets added in here, but we don't want it to, you know, go in there and just make this all a mess. So that's our next step. We're going to add this into the refrigerator, and we'll probably be back with you in, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes, which to you will seem like seconds. All right, we have our ground beef and cheese mixture now all mixed together. Got banana peppers waiting to be stuffed and wrapped with bacon. So that's our next step here, and once we get them all stuffed, bacon wrapped, and put on there, we'll check back in and show you to them. Our oven's preheated, so it looks like I'm a little bit late. So here we go. All right, we're back. And at this point, we have our first batch in the oven, already cooking. So we'll be able to see those in about another 25 minutes or so, see what they're looking like. But here's our second batch. Second batch had a little bit of extra bacon because we ended up not having quite enough bacon, so we had to break out a second thing. And I guess Chris went with the theory of there's never such thing as too much bacon, so they're definitely bacon wrapped. And then we did have a little bit of mixture left over, which it wasn't enough to freeze, and we definitely didn't want to throw it out. So we couldn't decide what to do. I have no idea how this is going to come out, but so we have bacon wrapped balls of cheese and beef mix.
It's like a meatball.
Oh, it should be delicious. So we got 3 of those on there. So that's for people that don't like their veggies, I guess. But we're gonna cook this for another 25 minutes or so, and then we'll take a look at it. We'll let you guys take a look at it. We'll finish up the second batch, and that'll be a wrap. Listen, I forgot to mention early on, if anybody has any tips or advice, we are by no means, as you can see, professional chefs, but we like to mess around in the kitchen, and we certainly like to eat. So we decided to make some videos and just kind of share what we're doing. But if you have any tips, tricks, advice, or anything you want us to cook, any good recipes, send them along. We'll give it a shot. Thank you. And we're back. The first batch is ready. So we're going to take them off. I like the bacon a little bit crispier than this, and to do that, you'll just maybe do a couple minutes under the broiler. But these are for later. So I'm going to be bringing them to a friend's house later. So they're cooked perfect for right now. I can let them cool. I can put them in the refrigerator. And then when we bring them over to the friend's house, turn the broiler on, give it about 5 minutes in the broiler, crisp up that bacon, and we'll be good to go. So I'm just going to get these off the pan and get the second batch going. We are back with the second batch. So Christine's extra bacon attempt was a success. I was afraid it might be too much bacon and it might not cook well, but no, they look great. So both batches are now complete. And until next time, brown out.